Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Q Stead Q. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Listen, you guys, here's another merged episode. I'm not gonna have too many more coming, but this story I have to tell. Y'all will not believe. Y'all will not believe this, and I just have to tell it. So, this is going on Facebook, the Fiber Family Group, and Q Stead Q. Listen, y'all. Okay, you all know what happened on yesterday in regards to the firing of my neurologist and his assistant, right? Well, first of all, to recap, my primary physician, after the big blowout that my what you call it, the vertical nurse or virtual nurse, she ended up needing to oops.
All done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the virtual nurse was the one who stood in the gap as far as the amount of steroid I was getting. And you know, the whole time, hold on, yeah, I'm gonna do a tour. But anyway, the whole time, the virtual nurse who stood in the gap, the assistant who was on duty yesterday and the day before, he was adamant that I was getting the 1,000 milligrams. He wasn't compromising. He totally refused, and I didn't budge. And I'm so glad that God led me not to budge on that. So as a result of that, because he kept saying that that was the dosage that he and the doctor wanted me to have, which is my neurologist. And so I was kind of upset because when I had explained it to the neurologist when I saw him at the appointment a month ago, he agreed, okay, whenever you go into the hospital, although he said you being over dramatic, he did say you will get the 1.5. And that's the reason why I was so confused as to why his mind suddenly changed. And here I am thinking I was being bamboozled, because here I am in the hospital now and I'm getting this 1,000 milligrams. And I'm like, no, he had said. And so I hadn't had a chance to talk to him, but I knew he was coming in on today. And so in the meantime, this was so egregious on yesterday, and I was so frustrated, and I knew that it was going to run my blood pressure up even higher and the symptoms of the steroids, that I was like, well, I'm firing both of them, and that's it. So as you all know, because I told the story, you all know I told my primary physician, I said, Dr. Reddy will help me. And y'all got the film that he did today. He did a film for me right here on YouTube, a 1-minute film saying hello, and I explained how he was my go-to person and all that, and why I like him so much. So you all met Dr. Reddy. Okay, so anyway, Dr. Reddy said, don't let go of them yet because you're established with Dr. Bhattacharya. He said, I will be talking to him. He said, and I will talk to Dr. Jolly, because he said, I can give you the 125 milligrams. He said, I can give you that, so you don't have to worry about the 500. He said, instead of refusing it, I can do that because I give that to asthma patients all the time. And so when he talked to Dr. Jolly, older neurologist, Dr. Jolly mentioned to him that everyone is different and that 125 will work well if it's worked well for me before, which it has, because I've had it on numerous occasions at another hospital. And he said, then go to the 125, is perfectly safe. No, he said the 1,000 used to be standard for MS patients for all. People have died, people have gotten sick off of it. It's too much for some to tolerate, and I'm one of those people. And so he said, no. He said, do not give her She doesn't need the 1,000. She needs the 125, and she'll be perfectly fine. So when Dr. Reddy told me on that yesterday, I said, okay. But he said, do not let go of them. He said, now Dr. Jolly is on standby just in case you do have to let go of them. He said, but for now, you're established with them, so you want to stick with your neurologist and his assistant. Well, let me back up, you guys. Back after the appointment, I had this dream, and I had told my sister about it. I dreamt of a snake, and y'all know, when you dream of a snake, you know, the meaning of that means you have an enemy, or someone hates you, or someone dislikes you. And I was like, I don't have any enemies, you know, so why am I dreaming of a snake? And I was like, okay, God, reveal this one to me. Something's going on here. I was like, I don't know where this snake is coming from, but I don't like it. And so everything was fine. I didn't think no more of it. And so then I dreamt of the snake again, the same snake. It was the same exact snake. I dreamt of it again a couple of weeks after. So I was really concerned then, but I was like, why am I dreaming of the snake? And it's not being revealed to me who the snake is, you know, or what it means and all that. Although I knew what it meant, but I wanted clarity, okay? And so in the meantime, y'all know that I waited. Remember, I waited all that time for my medication, the Aubagio for the MS. Well, then the prescription expired, and I'm so glad I told y'all the story, because you all will be able to get this immediately by following along. For those of you who knew the story, because I told the story mainly in the fiber group, but I did mention some of it in my other group too. And I was saying this is so unusual because my neurologist staff has always been good, and it has never taken no more than a week or two for me to get any medication that I've needed to get. Remember, I waited darn near 2 months because, darn near a month, because the prescription was written on the 22nd of May. Nothing was filled out. It was allowed to expire. Remember, I found that out last week. I finally called, and then the nurse from the specialty pharmacy called, left a scathing message. I left a scathing message. I said, no one has called this medication in, and the prescription has expired. Guess who wrote the initial prescription? Do I need to say? Okay, so I just found that out. Okay, so then on to the next thing. When my doctor came in today, I said, doctor, we got this straightened out. And I told him about what happened yesterday and how the virtual nurse had to intervene. I said, and doctor, I'm not going to say his name just yet. I said, Dr. T, we'll call him Dr. T, because that's what his last name begins with. And so I said, he argued he would not budge. I said, and he's telling me that you and he both decided that I was to get the 1,000 milligrams. And Dr. B says, no. He said, remember, the appointment, didn't I tell you that we were going with the 125? I agreed to that after you explained it to me. And he said, I've seen you on the 1,000. He said, I told you that. I said, but that's not what I was told yesterday. He said that you were the one who insisted and that he wasn't budging. Turned out that he sat there and overrode because he was on duty for 2 days. He overrode it, and that's why I ended up getting that one dosage of the 1,000 milligrams that has me torn up right now. My blood pressure is still out of control, and my blood sugar is over 200 right now as we speak from that first dose. So now I'm getting the lower dose, and so although things have dropped, but it keeps waxing and waning, going up and down. Okay, oh, we're not nearly done, y'all. Okay, so I said, so he overrode you. And so he said, I got a call from the virtual nurse. He said, and then I got a call from your doctor. I said, I knew my doctor was calling. I said, and my doctor called Dr. Jolly. I said, because I had fired y'all. I was like, I had decided you wasn't going to be my doctor anymore because I felt that was so egregious. But I forgot he had told me that I would use the 125. But because this doctor, the snake, oh yeah, it was revealed he's the snake. Okay, let's settle that part now. So I said for him to override it and say that you were in agreement of it. I told uh, 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 Dr. Reddy, I want another neurologist. I was like, oh no. I said, and so he was like, no, don't fire me. He said, I'm not the, he said, no. I was like, okay. I said, well, I tell you what. I said, I do not want Dr. T. I don't want to see him here, there, or anywhere. I said, now, if you choose to keep him on, that's your choice. I said, I do not want to be in that room with him alone. It suddenly dawned on me why this happened. Remember the story I told y'all weeks ago when I was at the doctor's office and I said that he told me there was no way that I could have a bounce back attack from the cataract steroid. And I told him, oh, yes, you can. I know my body and I've had MS for over 20 years. And I know you can have a bounce back attack from steroids, especially if it's a smaller amount. It can send your autoimmune. He swore that it was not true. And so then he went, because he had met with me, and then when he went to go get Dr. B, and they all came into the room, remember it was him, Dr. B, and the little short cute guy I was telling y'all about, remember? When he came in, Dr. B, the first thing he said to me, he said, you are having a T7 MS attack, which was my second one ever. He said, and it is a direct result of the cataract steroid that you were on. You're having a bounce back attack. And remember when I said, I looked at Dr. T, but I was happy that Dr. T was learning. Apparently, I thought he was learning, and the look he gave me let me know he did not like it, and I made sure I wasn't gloating. Remember I said that? I wasn't going to gloat. I was just happy that he was learning something, but apparently he ain't learned a darn thing. Instead, he decided to get revenge, and it's enough revenge that could still kill me, okay? Because I'm still at stroke level with the blood pressure, and I'm high with the blood sugar. They've got a high heart monitor on me. They're giving me extra medication. This is a nightmare, but I feel much better, so I know things are turning around and working, but I'm still on that small dosage because you have to wean it down, okay? And then I'm still scheduled for the MRI later today. That isn't even the most egregious of the whole story, y'all. Listen to what else happened, okay? So, first of all, like I said, the reason for the delay in the medication was because the prescription had expired and no one knew about it because he was over it. So I waited extra long for the medication. Here is the most egregious part that I found out today. Dr. B says to me, he said, did you bring the Aubagio with you? I said, yeah. I said, because I got it on Friday and I hadn't had a chance to take it. I asked Dr. T if I could take it here because I'm already under medical care, so what better place to do it is here. I said I could start it here, and then that way they can keep an eye out for the rare side effects or any side effect. He said, that's why I just asked you that, because that's what I would want you to do. He said, are you taking it? I said, Dr. T told me that I could not. He said I would just have to do it at home and have my sister watch over me because they don't allow that at the hospital. I said he refused to allow me to do it. I said, but I do have the medication, and I showed it to him. He slammed that medication on the table. He said, you could have been on it for the past couple of days. He said, I will call the pharmacy, which he did. He called the pharmacy. The pharmacy said, send the medicine down to us. So Caitlin, my nurse's assistant, took it down, and she said she took it to them, and what they did was they verified it. They needed to call and verify. They already knew the prescription was written, but they needed to verify through the specialty company that they actually filled the prescription and sent it. Okay, so they verified it, so I will start on the Aubagio on today, and then they sent it back. That's all we needed to do. And I will take it from my medication, and they don't even have to do it. I'll just start it from my medication that I received. That was so egregious when I could have been on it for the past 2 days. So now I have to spend the extra couple of days because he wants me to be monitored taking it. And he was the one who made that suggestion. And when he did it, I said, well, I asked about that. The snake once again. So I told him right then and there, again, I said again, I do not want him dealing with me on any level. Not in your office, not here at the hospital, nowhere. I said, now, if you choose to keep them, I said, if I have to deal with them, I want you in the room at all times. I said, I do not want to be in the room with him or even the other guy, the resident. I said, I want you in there. I said, because this is egregious. I said, in fact, I prefer not to deal with them at all. I said, so if he's due back tomorrow or any day that I'm here, I don't want to see him. And so I will be contacting the nurse. I have the same virtual nurse, the one who did the intake. When she calls tonight, because she will be calling, I'm going to let her know exactly what happened. And so she's going to, because she's the witness, and she called. When she called Dr. B, and then my doctor called Dr. B, he said, I know you're telling the truth. So I'm assuming he's probably going to do something about it, unless he can't do anything about it. So we'll see. But I see him again in August. But look at the damage that caused from that one dosage. And then damage was being caused from the very beginning that I didn't find out about until today. Which could have led up to my death, okay? And still can if things go crazy with stroke level. But my sugar is dropping. It's 200 today, but it fluctuates. And so I put myself on a darn diet. I told you I've been eating a turkey sandwich with low sodium the whole time, simply because I asked my doctor, well, can I go on the sliding scale insulin? And my doctor said no. He said, because when you don't have diabetes, he said, your blood sugar can drop too low. He said, and he had a patient who died. He said, mark my words, it will drop. So I've been walking down the hall, and so I just got sent to the room because we had a fire alarm. And Caitlin was like, what are you doing in the hallway? I was like, oops. So I had to come back, close the door, and then the fire alarm canceled. So we're getting ready to take a tour because I'm in my new room now. And y'all, this is a room that my mother was in. And I'm going to tell you how I know. This is the room. I'm 6th floor, 6915. My mother was in this room before, and how I know is from this furniture. See that paint on the couch there? I remember that paint when I was in here, and I was like, why don't they get rid of this doggone couch? It's still here. Same paint spots, whole 9 yards. So I know that this is the room my mother was in. So I felt kind of sad, but yet and still I feel comforted. I met the centenarian. All these things have happened to let me know that God is with me. He knew what was happening. He was letting me know what was going on. And now I'm in a room that my mother was in, sleeping in the same bed that she slept in. And this chair I'm sitting in is the chair that I sat in when I spent my days up here with her. So I think I'll be okay, you guys. But let me show you the view. I love the view from up here. being on the 6th floor. Now this hospital goes up to 8 floors, but I'm on the 6th floor. This is the main parking lot, so this is my view. But if you look back, and I'm gonna go up to the 8th floor one day, because you can see all the way into the city of Detroit. Once you go up to the 7th floor, they actually have a viewing room up there where you can look into it's like a telescope type deal, and you can see all the way down to downtown Detroit. It's absolutely stunning. And so I used to go up there all the time when my mother would be on this side. I used to be on the old side of the hospital. This is the newer side. And so in 6 South, this building here where you see the 4420 there, I'm zooming in, that was where my mother had dialysis and where I went with her every other day. Now we're going to take a walk down the hall now that the fire alarm is over, and I'm going to show you the apartments I used to live in. I'm going to zoom in on that. My neurology office, see that white building back there? Right there where I just zoomed, that's my neurology office, you guys. And then that building right there is Dr. Reddy's office. So, yep. And that's the street my aunt used to live on. And this is Bloomfield Hills. I'm in Pontiac, but as soon as you pass the Lexus building, you go into the next town of Bloomfield Hills. So you're seeing all this, my view, I just love it. I was given a pillow on today. PT came in, and I have been cleared of PT. And I came in as a fall risk and had to stay in bed for the first hour because I brought the walker. And I was like, oops. And so they cleared me. PT had to come in and clear me. So they had to put the belt around me. And then I have a belt that they gave me. This is my crochet bag, so I'll take that one home. This is my crochet bag. It's a denim bag, but it's printed. I love this thing. I bought this at Joann years ago. I think I showed it to y'all before, but I brought all this. I decided to make a scrap blanket from that Pima cotton. And so I didn't like the half double crochet pattern that I got offline. So I decided I would make it. I'm using the green for every other color. So it was even when it was over and done with. So, but I didn't like it like this. So I decided I would make a granny square solid. And I think it's coming out nicely. I like it. So that's what I'm working on. So I was given a butt pillow on today. Here it is. So that came to me. I'll take this home, and it feels so good, you guys. And so PT put the sheet. They said use a sheet over your chair. They want me to walk, and that's what will bring my blood pressure and blood sugar down. I put myself on a diet. I did order a salad today. They had the summer salads, so I ordered that for lunch for 6:30 delivery, and I ordered the turkey sandwich for a snack later. And I'm drinking water. I'm not drinking any juice. They gave me this spirometer, although my breathing, my oxygen is high, but they still want you to use that. And then they're giving me a blood thinner shot to prevent blood clots. And they said to stay up as much as you can, which is what I like to do anyway. Remember, I told y'all before, I don't like to take to the bed when I'm sick unless I have to. And so I'm out of bed, and I'm using the chair, and I'm just sitting here crocheting. I have my old iPad, so I'll watch that later, because I have my Discovery Health and all my other channels, that Netflix and Prime. I can watch those channels while away from home as long as Wi-Fi is available. So therefore, that's what I'm doing. So here's my happy chart, you guys. So my room, my date that I was brought in here, my nurse team, which I just love. I'm on the regular diet because I threatened Dr. Reddy. And then I have the pain management. So guess who gets, oh, and another thing, Dr. B, he said, before you go into that MRI, he said, I'm glad you didn't get it yet. He wants me to have another dose. He said either Valium or the Dilaudid, one more dose of it 30 minutes before I have the MRI, because I'm going to be in the machine for an hour, and by it being on the spine, I'm going to have to lay flat back, and they're going to have my legs way up so that they can get that full spine based on where the last plaque was found. He wants it done with and without contrast, so it's going to take an hour and it's going to be uncomfortable for me. So therefore, he wants me to have the medication so that I can relax and go to sleep during the MRI. So that's what's going to happen. So I get one more dose, y'all. One more dose. I'm so happy. Oops, I'm sorry. So anyway, so here's a tour of my room. It's small. And here's the bathroom. So I have everything in here, everything that I need. So I haven't unpacked much. I know I'll still be here a few days, but here is everything. So, and yeah, hi y'all. Here I am. Okay, I have my heart monitor on, so they got it in my pocket. It's running. They did eliminate the IV because it would have built up fluid, so this is for medicine only. And they will flush once I get when I get the stuff tonight. They will flush me with a bag, but for now, I don't have to worry about it. And they're not going to flush it fully with the bag. It'll just be flushed enough to where it runs that steroid through me and run everything else through me and everything. So yeah, I have the virtual nurse in here. And I was taught how to get rid of the virtual nurse. If I don't want to be bothered or disturbed, just turn the TV off. She can come on at any moment. And so this is the virtual nurse thing. It's facing the wall. When I see it turn, then that's when I know she's coming on, and she'll pop. And I want to see her tonight because I have the same one. Okay, so let's go out in the hall because I want to show y'all the views. Okay, so this is the mat that was beside my bed at first for the falls and everything. So I don't need that anymore. And then I have this. This can go on that chair, but we decided to go with the pillow. This is hold on, let me get the glasses, y'all. It's called it only plugs into this chair, so I can't take this. I don't want it anyway because it's not going to do me any good. But what it's called is a single patient use chair sensor pad, and it's an alarm. But it only works for these chairs here, so yep, so that will stay there. They brought me some other pads here, and then I'll take that pillow home. So I will be talking to Dr. B for a new walker, and then this one will be donated to my cousin. And as you all know, the MSAA, they're going to be sending me cooling gear. Soon as I get home, I have to fill out the application. That stuff will arrive in 2 weeks. So I picked the cooling gear. I picked a regular rolling walker that will stay in the car that I'll get free of charge through donations through the MSAA, and I will get an exercise bike for, you know, a sit-down bike. But I think I'm gonna make a change, and instead of, I'm gonna just get a cooling vest. I'm not gonna get the wristbands or the headband. I'll just get a couple of cooling vests because I can get 2 of those. And I think what I'm gonna do is make a swap and get, cause there's some other items available. And it was something that, oh, I know what I'm gonna get because I had donated. I had the thing for the shoe horn, the sock puller and stuff for my cousin who has Parkinson's. I gave that to him because I didn't really need it at the time, and he did. I'm going to go and replace that since it's free. Yep. And then I'm going to donate him this. I'm going to get it cleaned up, and he'll get this if his insurance didn't pay or if he didn't get one. And then I'm going to get a new one of these, and then I'll have that new one through the MSAA, which is just a regular walker that can be used while I'm out and about. And then this is the one I'll use at home, or vice versa. We'll do that. But since I have that new one coming, I'll just do that. Yep. and I'll donate this to him. Even if he gets a new one, he can have a second one. Because I'll have a second one, and then he can have this one, and then he'll have a new one for, whatever, and then he can use this, while he's out. But I'm definitely going to donate him this this walker because it's, for his ailment as well as mine, and it works perfectly. This had gotten loose, but I was able to fix it. Yep, I tightened it up with the screwdriver. I tightened up all the screws. So all I need to do is get this dust and dirt, because it's like 12 years worth of dirt and dust. I can take that, get it straight, get it washed real good, oiled up real good, and then I'll let him paint it. I'm gonna bling up my other one. I'm gonna paint it pink. Not the one like this, not the expensive one, but the little one I'm getting from the MSAA. I'm gonna paint it pink though. So let me get my mask on. Okay, so we're taking a walk. So I'm walking again since the fire alarm isn't going off. And I'm gonna show you the apartments I used to live in. Oh, I didn't show y'all the hippie sign right in front of my door. Lord, I'm getting all kind of good stuff. Even got hippie at the hospital, y'all. Let me show it to y'all. We walking back again. I think this is a hippie sign. Everybody signed it. Let's see. The mono, the gold, the rug, happy, my happy, this life. Yeah, I think that's hippie stuff. And then look at the picture, and it says, it is the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. And y'all know, I had that to happen on the other day while here. And this is by Paulo Coelho. And y'all know I don't have on my close-up glasses, so I think I'm reading that right, but that's the artist. Ooh, and it's real. They need to frame this. I mean, they need to put some glass. I think it's beautiful. He didn't date it either. But that's okay, it's beautiful. Okay, let's keep walking. There's other artwork through here, and especially on the floor where they have, because they have a whole section dedicated to that room. I think it's called, what do they call that? I want to say virtual room. It's a observation room. That's what they call it. So they have the telescope things, all that, the viewing room, I think they call it. And then they have like exercise stuff in there. It's just a big room, it's a nice room on that floor that you can use for that. It's beautiful. And then, they have rooms there, and, but that's the room they designated because other than the 8th floor, which is another hospital called Select Specialty, that's where this hospital ends. So this is Woodward Street, you guys. So there's the Lexus building. I'm gonna zoom in on it again because you can see the name of it. And that was the entrance. So I was there 3 times a week for 7 years. And then this is the apartment buildings I used to live in called Fox Point. And so you can see all the way through Pontiac. Yeah. And so this is it. And this is the front of the hospital, the new part. So this is nice. So I'm standing right over the pharmacy and the main lobby, but I'm on the 6th floor. Okay. And so I love this. I love my view. Okay, so I'm gonna put you on pause and we're gonna stroll around. And so I'm just doing my walk because that's the best thing for lowering my blood pressure and also for celebrating gifts from Northwest Pathology Consultants PT. And they have these hanging all the way around too, where people made donations. Ooh, let's look at this piece of artwork right here. And like I said, the majority of the artwork is on the 7th floor. And let's see who this is from. Oh, I think this is beautiful. Okay, is this metal? I hate to touch, but oh wow, it is. It's heavy metal. And then they have this, roses. They have a bird. Look at that, y'all. I love stuff like this. And this is, hold on. It says artists Chris Norden and Michelle Posinski resides Detroit, Michigan, media, brown, blown glass, and metal. And then it has the number on it. That is beautiful. And it, of course, was a donation. Okay, so I'm coming down the other way. And then I'll walk back. I'll cut through to my room. Boy, that time I had C. diff. That's not the room I was in, but I remember that. Here's some artwork here. It's just a picture. The monarch butterfly, daisies. It's okay. I think they're daisies. And look at the pollinators, you guys. This is the nourishment room. Anyone's allowed to go in there to get ice, pop, sandwiches, so forth. Oh, I think that's beautiful. Look at that. Another piece of artwork. And it is signed, but I'm not going up to it because I'm getting ready to cut through right here. And so tomorrow we will look at other pieces of artwork here. All right. Okay, and then these are the elevators. So maybe one day I'll get permission to go to the 7th floor so that I can, because that's the floor you want to tour. And the view is even more stunning. That one difference in the floor is I took the shortcut, y'all, because I'm tired now. But I think I did good. So every hour I take a walk. So next hour I'm gonna go down to that end of the hallway. So I can do that tomorrow. I'll do that end again and show you the artwork. And then hopefully I can get permission to go to the 7th floor because I really want for you all to see the observatory room. That's the name of it. I forgot what I had called it, but it's the observatory room. So I know I've been on here a while. Let me sit my butt down. Woo-wee. Oh, I'm glad I got that walk in. I'm out of breath now, but that's okay. And my legs aren't hurting. I can walk unassisted, and they told me as much as I want to, I can. And they said use the walker if I feel I need it. So because I'm just now starting these walks, I felt that I should use the walker. But around the room here, I'm not getting that stress on my legs. And another thing, both doctors told me that the reason why I was having such a hard time and was waxing and waning with the attack was because the attack is of the spine, but yet and still the infection, which turned out to be an upper UTI, not the lower, it was affecting my spine, the pain, and going down into my legs. So with that, with the antibiotic, that has stopped that pain, and so now I'm starting to get a hold to it. And yes, I should have come to the hospital sooner, but the UTI was caught early. That was the nice part, because a month ago I didn't even have a UTI, so it was brewing up or whatever, I don't know. And it could have came from the fact that I was having the MS attack or I don't know, but whatever. This stuff happened, and now it's been caught, and I'm being treated for it, and I feel almost normal. And then my sister's at the house, she and Tink, they're taking care of the greenhouse, they're taking care of the garden and everything. So they're there, they go in the evening, they're at home during the day. We're in the middle of the heat wave and everything, but they're there to help me as well. And so they'll be there for a while. So there's bedrooms for both of them. They have their own rooms. Sherry's in the one room where the preps are, you know, with the Murphy bed, because that's her favorite room. And then Tink is in the back room where the door is, you know, and then I'll be in my room once I get home. So I'm going to enjoy the company and whatnot when I get home. So I'm looking at no earlier than Thursday making it home. And the one doctor said possibly Friday. So we'll see. I don't know what day I'll get home. And it all depends on how my blood pressure, because they're not letting me out of here with my blood pressure this high. And then we still have to see how the medication goes, the Aubagio, But I'm glad I'll be taking it here. So by the time I get home, if nothing happens, I am home free. I'll just have to go every month for my blood work. That's all for the first year. And then after that, every 6 months. And then I won't have to do it at all again. So y'all pray that Aubagio works well. And I think I'll be okay. God's letting me know he's on my side all the way. So I think I'll be okay with it. And even if I'm not, I'm here with the professionals. So and the nurse will keep an eye on me when I take it and see, she'll be here for like 30 minutes to an hour to make sure there's no rare after effects. Now I will get side effects. The headache is the one, so I'll be okay with that. Oh, and another thing, I was supposed to get the Aleve. Here they come. I had a prescription for Tylenol. Guess who wrote that prescription? So they had to override all that, contact Dr. Reddy and get the right prescription for me to get the Aleve last night. That's why I got it so late. And then the same for today, so everything's been fixed now. So like I said, if that man walks up in here, the first thing I'm going to ask him to do is leave. Now I will do that. So anyway, that's it, you guys. So how long have I been on here? Let's see. Ooh, Lord, 40 minutes. So let me get on off of here. Although the Wi-Fi here works so good and it uploads my video fast, but I know y'all don't feel like spending an hour on here watching me. But I had to tell that story, y'all, because y'all already knew. Some of you already knew from beginning to and now to the end. Okay, so we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to get back to my crocheting. I'm going to rest, and then in an hour is actually 5:15. This clock is 15 minutes slow, I was told. So it's 5:15. So dinner will come like at 6:30-ish. And then, so I'll probably wait until, well, 5:15. I might can take a walk at about 6 o'clock before dinner, but I'd rather walk after dinner. I think that's what I'll do. So I'll probably just wait until after I eat, and then I will take my next walk. And then from there, and a walk every hour. And then they said they don't know if the MRI will be late tonight or what. And so whenever it is, it'll be, okay? And then 30 minutes, they'll call 30 minutes before the doctor left instructions. So they'll come to give the dilaudid 30 minutes before, so I'll know exactly what time it'll be at that point, because I'll have the dilaudid. It takes effect immediately, and it will continue to take effect during the MRI, so that will make it comfortable. And then, of course, I will be in bed after that's done, okay, probably for the rest of the night. So I'm enjoying my day, you guys. I hope that you're doing the same. It is 100 degrees out there. They say it's 90, I think 6 or 7, with the heat index of over 100. I can see the heat, y'all. So I'm glad I'm not out there. But, and then I've got the air on in here, but I've got it up to 80, so it's comfortable. It's not cool, it's not too cold, and it's not too hot in here either. It's perfect for me. Okay, so I'm off of here. I will talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. Please keep me in your prayer. I'm not out the woods yet, but I feel so much better. Okay, bye-bye.